A young girl named Jia lives a quiet life with her father, Lee. Her mother died years ago, and since then, Lee has raised her alone, pouring every bit of himself into being both parent and provider. On an ordinary morning, Jia gets ready for school. Over breakfast, Lee reminds her to study hard. As they head out, Jia brings up something she has wanted for a long time: a dog. All her friends have one, she says, and she wants one too. Lee hesitates. A dog is a responsibility, he tells her. Feeding it, walking it, caring for it every single day. Jia promises she will handle everything herself once school lets out. Touched by her determination, Lee finally gives in. He drops her at school and heads off to his job at a construction company, where his days are filled with steel, concrete, and the slow shaping of buildings. After school, Jia loses herself in play with her friends, and time slips away without her noticing. Evening creeps in. Lee, watching the sky darken with the promise of rain, sends her a message urging her to hurry home. The moment she reads it, Jia says goodbye to her friends, who walk her partway to the train station before leaving her to finish the journey alone. She boards the metro, savoring a small taste of independence. But by the time she steps off and begins walking home, the sky has already broken open. Rain pours down in sheets, pooling on the street, and pushes forward through the storm. Back home, Lee finishes his shift, assuming Jia has already returned. He walks into her room expecting to find her there. It's empty. He searches the house, calls her name, and gets no answer. Her phone goes straight to voicemail. Panic sets in. He calls her friends, who tell him they left her at the station alone. Lee races there himself, shouting her name into the rain, but there's no trace of her. The next morning, a body is spotted floating in a nearby river, wrapped in plastic. Officer Jun and his junior partner arrive to investigate, and the horror sets in immediately. It's Jia. The medical examination places her time in the water at well over a day. Jun orders his team to check for a missing persons report. Soon after, he calls Lee to identify her. When Lee sees his daughter's lifeless body, his world collapses. Just a day earlier, they had shared breakfast and laughter. Now she is gone. He holds her. Sobbing, undone by grief, Jun gently asks whether Jia had a boyfriend, searching for any thread that might lead somewhere. Lee can only shake his head, lost in disbelief that anyone could do this to his child. The autopsy reveals a disturbing detail: more than one person was involved in her death. Jun decides to spare Lee the specifics for now, watching him crumble under the weight of losing everything. Lee blames himself, certain that if he had gone to fetch her that evening, she would still be alive. An assistant officer tries to reassure him that the people responsible will be found. The next day, Jun and his partner return to where the body surfaced. Jun theorizes that whoever dumped her had hoped the body would sink and disappear. The junior officer worries that without prior criminal records, the culprits could be nearly impossible to trace. Back at the station, they pull security footage and catch Jia's last known movements near the station, along with a woman lingering nearby and a white van parked close by. A zoomed-in frame reveals the driver, a young man named Leo. The officers track the van to a spot near Leo's house and find him there, washing it down. During their questioning, they spot Jia's phone tucked away, and Leo quickly pockets it, deepening their suspicion. They also move to question Leo's father, the van's owner, hoping for more answers. Spooked by the police presence, Leo bolts inside and locks himself in his room, his mind spiraling back to that night. He remembers sitting in the van with his friends, Wang and Yu, when they spotted Jia walking alone. Looking for a thrill, the three grabbed her from behind in the dark, knocking her unconscious, and drove her to Wang's house. There, Leo got a call from his father demanding the van be brought home. Uneasy about leaving Jia alone with the other two, he reluctantly left anyway. Wang and Yu mocked him, reminding him that since he'd been driving, he was just as implicated as they were. Meanwhile, consumed by grief, Lee finds himself riding the very same train Jia took that night. A news report flashes on a screen announcing the discovery of her body. Frantic, he rushes to his friends for comfort, but they turn cold, warning him that if Jia had lived, she would have exposed them, so they killed her, and they warn Leo to stay silent. When Leo suggests they did something monstrous, they beat him for it. Racked with guilt, Leo takes Jia's phone and travels to the river where her body was found. In a moment of desperate remorse, he texts Li from her phone, revealing that Wang and Yu killed his daughter, and even includes Wang's address, before throwing the phone into the water to erase his trail. Li, consumed by a need for answers, gets the message and rushes to Wang's house after failed calls go unanswered. Finding the door locked, he remembers Leo mentioning a spare key and lets himself in, searching for evidence. Wang arrives home mid-phone call, forcing Li to hide. Digging through the room, he finds Jia's bag, a gut-wrenching discovery, and notices Wang's computer, suspecting it might hold proof. He watches as Wang, seemingly unbothered and certain his age makes him untouchable, plays back footage from that horrific night. Rage overtakes Li. He confronts Wang directly, and the two collide in a violent struggle. In the chaos, Li seizes a baseball bat and strikes him, killing him on the spot. Shaken but calculating, Li photographs the scene, takes Wang's phone, and changes clothes to avoid drawing attention. Before leaving, he sends a message to Yu from Wang's phone, posing as his friend, claiming he's heading out of town and asking Yu to meet him at the house. Officer Jun and his team arrive at the crime scene and uncover disturbing footage on Wang's devices, not just of Jia, but of two other girls he had victimized. Jun tries reaching Li, but there's no response. Blood-stained clothing found at Li's home makes him the prime suspect in Wang's murder. The police move to arrest Yu as well. His wealthy, well-connected parents are called in, and when confronted with what their son is accused of, they dismiss it as typical teenage behavior, insisting the girls must have provoked him. Jun struggles to contain his anger at their denial. As Yu's parents prepare to leave, another grieving father confronts them, accusing their son of destroying his daughter's life. He reveals that Yu had blackmailed her into silence after abusing her, and unable to bear the shame, she took her own life. Meanwhile, Li retreats to a secluded rented house he sometimes uses to be alone. Going through Wang's drive, he finds more evidence footage of an assault that took place in a nearby garage. Fueled by fury, he heads there with Yu's photo in hand, but the mechanics refuse to talk without payment. A fight erupts, and in the scuffle, one worker is shot in the leg. Injured and panicked, the man gives up a possible location for Yu, though he admits he doesn't know much more. As news of Li's actions spreads, a woman recognizes him from a broadcast and decides to help, letting him stay hidden in her home. While he's out, she looks through his laptop, piecing together what happened. When questioned by others about a stranger in her house, she covers for him. Li, aware she knows the truth, tells her he doesn't want to take justice into his own hands, but admits that if the system runs its course, the killers might serve only a few years before returning to ordinary lives, marrying, raising children, moving forward. Jia, he says, will never come back. Officer Jun uncovers footage placing Li at a hotel with a clear shot of Yu, prompting an arrest order, still driven by vengeance. Li heads to that same hotel with the woman's help, evading police and waiting there, armed. When officers arrive, Yu is gone, but they find a terrified girl who says he tortured and filmed her repeatedly. Before they can intervene, she gets a call from Yu and, frightened, warns him the police are closing in. He flees on his motorcycle. Li, waiting outside, fires at the bike, sending Yu crashing to the ground. Dazed, Yu scrambles up and disappears into the forest. Jun spots Li and gives chase, but as Li flees down a stairwell, exhausted, he shouts back that he can't let the people who destroyed his daughter walk free. Torn between duty and empathy for Li's pain, Jun lets him go rather than open fire. Later, Jun tells his junior officer about another case that still haunts him: underage boys who beat another teen to death and served only 15 years before walking free. It's a reminder, he says, of how often the system fails victims. Meanwhile, Yu calls Leo asking for money, telling him to meet at the station at midnight. Leo hasn't told police about the call, but they've already been listening. The next night, officers wait at the station as Leo hands over the money. When they move to arrest Yu, he bolts. Li, hidden nearby with a gun, catches up to him first. Cornered, Yu begs for his life, apologizing for what happened to Jia. Officers order Li to lower the weapon, but consumed by grief and rage, he shoots Yu in the eye. An officer fires back, wounding Li, who collapses but survives, losing an eye of his own in the exchange. A year later, Officer Jun and his junior partner visit Lee's memorial. Standing in the quiet, Jun reflects that having children is easy, but raising them to become good people is the hardest thing in the world. The story closes on the weight of a father's loss and the deep cracks in a justice system meant to protect the innocent, leaving the audience to sit with everything that was broken along the way.